Arrow, I want to talk to you if you can see this. Next week we can talk about your 2856 about the Tower of Clay. So I want to refute you.
So unless Abbas is saying that the Pharaoh killed the young boys and the young girls, and that would mean that Moses, or an adult male, was put into a basket, and somehow the basket didn't sink.
Big basket.
Now Ibn Kathir lived in a time he doesn't have a knowledge of science. He wasn't very scientific in things. So scholars can make mistakes, the older scholars.
So the Quran is not based on the linguistics but science.
Similar to what you did with the condition, because you stated whether
Nisa.
you did it intentionally,
First,
not Nisa,
Nisa.
no, the Amanoria. You said, and that is what Allah meant. But we don't know that
No,
because he
we
didn't.
know. We
How?
know. Errol said, and he's not here, so I don't know how to make a point when he's not
Because
here.
you want to catch him off guard.
No. I actually already told Soko.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, Soko, I told him on the chat.
Okay.
I'm going to challenge
Okay.
his point is, where is the evidence of that tower?
Yeah.
But there's 2 points to that. First of all, Pharaoh didn't have enough time. He chased Moses and he got killed. Second point is this. If you read the verse, Pharaoh made that 3 foolish statements in that verse. 3 foolish statements. One is, I know you people, my people of my Senate, that there is you don't believe in any God beside me. That was the first foolish statement.
By who?
Pharaoh. That verse is Allah saying, Pharaoh is talking,
Okay.
he makes 3 foolish
Quran.
statements.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Quran, the verse
All right.
28:56. That there is no God beside me. Second, he says, go and bake the clay and make the tower out of it.
Yeah.
That was another foolish statement. Because why he says that? Because he says, I am God. So when I say something, that's going to happen. That's why he says something which is nobody could have said it, but he said it. Third statement, he says, I know Moses is a liar. His God is not God, he's a liar. So in that verse, Allah is saying he talked 3 foolish things.
Yeah.
And that was bake a clay and make a tower. That was only he was saying because he was claiming that he is divine. If he can say that, that's going to happen. So this is not that Allah never says they make the tower from baked clay. He only said it. Allah never say he's Haman. He said, yes, I will do that. They were all listening whatever he's saying that. Whatever he's saying, whatever you can say. So he made foolish statement on the
Even Haman's not even an Egyptian name. So how
Okay,
can
don't go somewhere else now. Don't
Yeah,
go.
but that's the still
Don't
point.
go somewhere else. Secondly, he chased Pharaoh, and Allah says in the next verse, he was foolish and he went and chased and he was drowned. And he was drowned.
Yeah.
Very quickly Allah says that and he was drowned.
Yeah, but using that logic,
I know we have
yeah,
gone
but
out
wait,
of time.
using that logic, if we look at the story of Mary, when the angel comes to her, within the next 2 verses or so, she's given birth. So then would you say that the birth was like a week later?
No, he didn't say that.
Exactly.
No, he
that's
didn't
what-
say that. He didn't say that.
That's my
The
point.
word-
but the time-
No.
Exactly.
No.
Because it can go retrospective
There is
as
a
well.
time. My lady, there is a time.
Because he's trying to
No, I'm
say,
not saying there isn't one, I'm
because
just saying the
he's trying to
length
say
of
because the
writing
next thing that
doesn't
happened.
denote
Can
that
I answer?
time has
Can I
passed.
answer? My lady, there is a time. After the verse it says, and she went to the east. That's what the verse after the next verse says. And she went to the east. And then we know that she went to the east outside Jerusalem when she gave birth. So it was not like
it happened immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it doesn't say as you saying that she gave birth straight away. It doesn't
We
because
said within the same paragraph or
no,
a couple of
no, when she
verses.
went to the east,
But
no,
she
we
went to
no.
the east is one sentence. Do you see? He's saying that just because it happened quickly in the narrative doesn't mean it was
No.
physically quickly. Is
Do
that
you
your-
understand that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
understand that, but then
Because we know logically birth takes like,
no,
time, but
exactly,
reading it, it seems like it's the next thing that happens.
No,
you know what I mean?
exactly. So we
but
know,
that's what I'm
we
saying
know
as
the
well.
verb.
Use that same logic to the
I
verse.
actually talked to a couple of imams, mufti,
Okay.
and they claim that's what you said.
Yeah, and you refuted them.
No, I didn't. I say, look, I don't
Oh,
agree with that.
you're teaching the imams.
No.
The sheikh, the
No,
muftis.
I didn't.
Okay.
I say I don't agree with what he's saying. Then I went to 3 other imams.
Okay.
Next day I went to 3 other imams to
Yeah.
confirm with them.
Okay.
More knowledgeable than them.
Yeah. And what
They
did
all say no, this is wrong what they're saying that, and they explain to me. They always talk about travel in the east, and if you read the tafsir, in the tafsir it says that she went far from Jerusalem, and it was a normal.
So now you accept tafsir in that example, but not 65.
My brother here, he loves me so much. Always go
Because they are not yet mature.
always he go ad hominem on me.
That's not ad hominem.
Not.
But you see how you appeal to the Bible for this one. But in the same Bible story, when it talks about the young children, he rejects that bit. You see, look.
Always ad hominem.
That's not ad hominem.
You're ad hominem.
I'm not attacking you.
You're ad hominem. Does not
No.
you are.
No,
Of course
no.
you are.
No.
Of course you are.
No. I'm highlighting your
You are.
inconsistency.
You are. No. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not.
You're inconsistent.
Look, no, I'm not. I'm not. No. What did I say? Imam saying that this is. But I said this is just common. Somebody says going to the east. That doesn't mean she conceived and give birth straight away. Because it says she.
So did you ask your imams about 65-4 as well, the muftis?
No.
He's not claiming
No,
that,
but
it happened immediately.
See, keep attacking me.
That's not. I'm asking.
All right,
My brother.
he's not
Quranic
claiming that it happened
understanding
quickly.
He's what he's doing is.
He's pointing out that just because it's a small amount of writing
That
doesn't
is
mean
the
it's a small
Quranic
amount of time.
understanding.
And he's
Okay.
then
But,
saying that your
We know
interpretation
that
of
she had a
Moses,
full gestation
Yeah.
saying that it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
But
This
the
is
question was,
this is
the
our
context he was
yeah?
referring to, where is the time barrier in that?
yes, and he said that the Bible says a couple of days,
Yeah.
and we've
Wait,
got
it
the
doesn't actually
Bible.
say that. So I'll literally show us what the Bible
The
says.
Bible says seven.
You know what I'm saying? If you show us reference,
timeline.
Yeah, to show us the timeline, then we can go through that.
Oh, so you're
No,
saying
you-
okay? So
Yeah.
I'm asking you Christians a question.
No, I'm saying.
No,
you
I'm
made
asking.
the statement.
It's a common knowledge that when Moses came to Pharaoh, it didn't take him long before he let the people go. It's just a common
He
knowledge.
was an adult by
No,
then.
but it doesn't-
It's quite long. He
Yeah.
came to
If
the
the
Pharaoh
time
as a
period is
baby.
How long?
given,
How long the period
Why
was?
we
He
are
came,
at,
he came as a
repeating
baby
our-
and he
our
left as a
discussion.
No.
grown man.
When he came back with a message with his brother.
Oh, when he
Aaron.
returned.
Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about.
Right, I
when he
thought you meant
returned,
he
he said, "Let my people go."
Yes.
And Pharaoh said, "I'm not going to let the people go."
Yes.
That how long that period was, I think it's a common knowledge. We say it was not more than a week or more than a month. Not it.
I think you're
Let's have a
reading
look.
into it.
Don't
Yeah,
assume.
in the Bible, it
Don't
doesn't say that.
find out.
assume,
Show us
Do
where
we
it
find
says.
out?
Yeah, show us where it
Is
says.
it?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say that.
So you are so you okay?
doesn't say-
I'm asking you
can
question.
be-
I'm asking you question.
It
Question.
can be 3
In
months,
your
one-
knowledge,
one-
was it
three-
year?
No, the
Was
Bible
it year?
doesn't say.
2
It
years?
doesn't say, but
doesn't
it could
say.
be a long time. Because the
It
thing
could
is,
be a long
sometimes the timelines aren't.
So it could be years.
No.
It could be.
He
For
had
argument's
Are you
sake,
sure?
it could
He
be.
had to
doesn't say.
physically have
I,
time.
I will come back to refute you with that. And
Okay.
how we find it, Bible didn't say that. Okay. Scholars, should we see what the scholars say that?
You can't refute them. If they say the
No,
Bible,
when-
hold on. If they say the Bible doesn't say it, then you have to refute them by showing where it does say it.
Okay.
Like
They-
you
they-
are
I make
You argue from silence.
No.
Moses needed
Let's
time to
say
perform the things
the
that God-
argument. We don't know how the timeline was. But I say in that statement, in that verse, Allah make it's a clear statement that He make three foolish.
I bring the verse so we can see.
Chapter 28, verse 56.
And those three.
And secondly, remember, Allah never say He built the tower. He said, He commanded to build the tower, but Allah never say He built the tower. So when Errol says, where is the evidence of the tower? That's a foolish question. Because Allah never say He built it.
I don't know what
Did
the
you ask
discussion
for
was.
the evidence of the tower?
I didn't. I don't. These two were discussing
Yeah,
when I
so
came.
because in the Arrow's debate with
Yeah.
Shamsi,
So he's not
he
here.
said that
I think.
Pharaoh built
okay.
a great brick tower.
We are
Where
going.
where is
He
it?
did.
Okay.
He's trying to argue that it was never built, but
Where is
he just
Arrow?
said it.
Yeah.
Where
That was the
He
is
said it
Soko?
because he said he was God. And
it Soko
this is
camera?
gonna happen,
Are you
this is
Soko
gonna
camera?
happen, this is gonna happen. And it didn't happen.
Errol, I want to talk to you if you can see this. Next week we can talk about your 2856 about the Tower of Clay. So I want to refute you. So I think Paperboy, I'm giving Paperboy. I think I'll talk this
Yeah.
about with Arrow.
Well,
rather
okay,
than with you,
that's
yeah?
fine.
Because it was Arrow.
Yeah.
So and I'm going to
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
him that. as
okay.
well.
So
we're going to
do
talk
we-
about it later.
So you got never something.
I have to do my Maghrib Salah.
Blasphemy of the Holy Spirit.
You do it every time I do to him.
Maghrib Salah.
He always,
I have to do
he
my prayer.
always run away when he's
Yeah. So what?
We went to talk about the banner.
I run away from falsehood.
I have
Really?
I have my children to
And
Go
also,
see your church on Sunday.
but
You
let's
have
just,
any question?
before you go,
I can answer your quick question.
the 65-4. Why is it sometimes you go to appeal to tafsirs and scholars, but then in that example, because that the discussion you had with Kryptonite and someone else, I can't remember, you said It was Daniel.
One second. Just
Daniel
remember ad hominem
and
again.
kryptonite.
Yeah?
This,
Why
you need to
hominem?
understand what ad
How it
hominem
was
means.
the
Personal.
No,
Personal attack.
because
Yeah.
you were
Personal
talking
attack.
about a verse.
but he's not.
I can't remember what verse it was.
He's belittling me.
And then
Not
he
yet.
said,
No,
he said, what does the Quran say? We go to the scholars. And then Kryptonite said, what about 65? Because he said, let's go to Ibn Kathir. Because in that verse that they were talking about,
It
he liked
supports-
Ibn Kathir.
yeah.
Then he said, why don't we go to Ibn Kathir for 65.4? And what did
Can
he
I-
say?
can I
You
answer?
have won. It's time for you to leave. And
Can I answer? Can I
Yes,
answer?
go
No,
on.
my position as a Muslim is this. I follow the scholars as long as they're logically right and their reasoning is right. I don't disqualify scholars or completely reject them because they are scholars. If they make sense, if they go in line with the Quran and in line
So everyone's wrong.
in line with the facts
How does
around
how
us,
does he
facts
go-
of science, facts of history, then I have no reason to reject them. But I myself read things from scholars, from Jalalain, for example. Jalalain talk about 1776. Chapter 17, verse 76. You see, Jalalain is completely wrong. Ibn Kathir completely go against Jalalain. So there are many scholars.
What, 65?
No, yeah. 65.4 is very clear.
Jalalain is the
65.4
one that says
says,
not yet
and
mature.
those women who has not reached puberty yet. So when he says
It's
that,
not menstruated,
What
and
is
the
Quran about?
tafsir in
Yeah, yeah,
brackets
yeah.
says because they are not yet mature.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
read all
Al-Jalalain.
of them.
I'm
So
answering.
now,
Am I allowed to say
You
something?
can, I'm just trying
Okay.
to correct you.
65 for 65 4 says, and you give divorce to the women who has not menstruated yet.
No, it
No.
doesn't. It says who has not menstruated. The word yet
yeah.
is not
So
in the
now,
Quran.
so Abbas.
So is it
So
not
now,
the same thing?
Abbas.
No.
Yeah, look.
Okay, what that means, not
I
menstruated.
thought
Yeah,
it
but
meant
Abbas.
not yet. So that could imply. So hang on.
So in- wait, so
would you
in-
like an
The
explanation?
same
You asked me
thing.
a
Well, I'm
question.
saying
It
the
doesn't
same
Wait,
thing.
wait,
matter.
so Abbas,
It's
wait,
not in the
now listen to
Quran.
this. Now, Ibn Kathir, I'm going to give you all the scholars, and I'm going to go through.
I have to make my point.
Yeah, I'm going to go through all the scholars. So give me a minute. Ibn Kathir, he says this is a command on which the scholars are
what Ibn Kathir
agreed.
says. I know what
Yeah, I'm
Ibn
going to
Kathir
go through them. It says this is a comment in which the scholars are agreed, which means you're going against ijma. That if a woman is divorced before marriage is consummated, she does not have to observe the iddah period for divorce. She may go and get married immediately to whomever she wishes. Maududi says, therefore, making mention of the waiting period for girls who have not yet menstruated clearly proves that it is not permissible
What?
to give away the girl in
Although he
marriage.
said two
at
things.
this
He didn't say one thing. He
age.
said two things. And he said also could
let
be
me
the
finish.
women
Let
who
me
are
finish.
over in age, but
We
they
go
have
to
not menstruated.
Jalalain, those who have not yet menstruated because of the young period. Asab al-Nazul Wahidi, those who are too young, and this verse was revealed. Tanwa Ibn Abbas, Messenger of Allah, what about the waiting period for those who have not yet menstruated because they are too young? Al-Tabari, the same applies to the iddah for girls who do not menstruate because they are too young. Tafsir al-Arazi, Allah revealed, meaning that her iddah is like the old age woman who reached her menopause. Tafsir Zamashari, those who have not yet menstruated are young girls. Al-Qatabi means the young girls, their iddah is 3 months. Tafsir Ibn Jabir, those who have not yet menstruated, their iddah is 3 months. Tafsir Bukhari, he made the iddah of girls before puberty 3 months. Tafsir Abu Hayyan, those who have not yet menstruated denotes those who not menstruated because of being young. Tafsir Al-Abadi, I'm going to go through all of them because it's overwhelming. Those who did not menstruate due to their age. Tafsir Al-Sayuti, and these are classical scholars. They are young girls who have not yet menstruated. Al-Salamain means iddah of the young girls who have not yet menstruated. Tafsir Uthmayin, if a woman does not menstruate either because she is very young or old. Tafsir Al-Saidi, along with those who have it, men says not, means minors. Tafsir Shafi and Usmani, iddah for women who does not menstruate on account of minority of age. and we have Islam where we've got fatwa, is alam, it's pretty overwhelming, and this includes great classical scholars.
And also
Scholars
the
say,
word
okay.
for woman is
No.
used in a verse
So
about
remember,
killing children.
Ibn Kafir said the scholars have agreed, which means ijma.
It doesn't
And
just mean-
according to your Islamic tradition, you go with ijma,
Quran
isn't it?
clearly says about the women who has not menstruated, meaning they have not menstruated, yeah, at all. Now we know there are women who have this condition. It could be called amenorrhea. Yeah, what's it called? Yeah, amenorrhea. Yeah, amenorrhea. Amenorrhea is a condition when women do not menstruate, maybe up to the age of 25, or sometimes never. And remember this verse of the Quran is talking about Nisa, women. Yeah, the name of the surah is no, you can't. He
Thank
made
you
the
so
point.
much.
No.
I'll add the next
you-
point
Why
if
you were
don't
not talking
mind.
when he was?
Yeah, go
reading,
on, continue. She'll make her point.
I
Yeah,
said it's
make-
quite
you were
overwhelming.
not.
Then anyone can just look at the
Stop diverting.
I have to make my point.
Answer, and then
Go
she'll
for it.
she'll answer next.
She is the one diverting.
Okay,
As soon
get
as you
back.
tell me not to,
Get
I
back.
stop.
I'm making my
Back
point.
to
Yeah,
topic.
okay.
All right.
So the Quranic amenorrhea is Quran says Nisa. Nisa means women. So when Allah says those women who has not menstruated, it's clearly covering those women who has this condition, obviously. Because otherwise, where is the rule for those women who have this condition? I know this condition is not common. It's very unusual situation, and even old scholars, some of them, they didn't even know about that. So Allah, our Creator, He knows everything. So He's covering those women. Otherwise, where is the rule for those women? So that's what I'm saying. First of all, it's women. Secondly, the women who has not menstruated are the women who have this condition of amenorrhea. Now, Ibn Kathir lived in a time he doesn't have a knowledge of science. He wasn't very scientific in things. So scholars can make mistakes. The older scholars, for example, when he talk about that.
So the Quran is not based on the linguistics but science.
Hold on.
Look, old scholars, they do make errors about science. One of them was Ghazali. Ghazali was one of the greatest theologians. You know what he says? The sun is 5 times bigger than this earth. That was his conclusion. So meaning those people, their knowledge of science was so less.
But that's a red
even no, it's not. This is what I'm saying, that the scholars of the olden days, they didn't have a proper knowledge of science. So they say whatever they thought was right. But what Allah is saying that's what the most important, what matters. But Quran is not saying that. Quran is saying the women who has not menstruated, meaning those women who has this condition. Quran is not talking about prepubescent girls. That cannot be.
Okay, can I make a point?
Yeah.
Please.
So this is my case.
Yeah, let her make her
That's
point.
why I reject any scholar who say that, even though, look, the difference in the modern day scholar and the olden day scholar is what? The modern day scholar, Maududi, who only died 30, 40 years ago, what did he say? He makes two conclusions here. He says possibly the women who are older in age but they have not menstruated, or maybe the young girls. So he hasn't completely rejected the old scholars out of respect, but he brings another side to the argument as well. Meaning the modern day scholar, knowing science, he changes view a little bit.
Right, so I've got 2 points to refute or to discuss about that. The one point is you say that the Quran uses the word Nisa, or Allah uses the word Nisa, and there's one hadith, or I don't know, it's
The
talking
Quran.
about the slaughter of children,
In the
boys
Quran,
and
yeah.
girls.
That's the
And it
story
uses
of
the word
Moses.
Nisa
Yeah.
to discuss
says,
female
"Spare the women."
babies.
Where's
Yeah.
the verse?
I don't know, but
Let me
that
find it.
you come to
Yeah.
that. And the
It says,
other
"Spare
thing
the
would
children."
be, if it's talking about menorrhea or whatever this
Amenorrhea.
amenorrhea, then it would say so. So it doesn't say so. You just
Oh,
stated.
Allah would have mentioned the word amenorrhea.
But no.
Scientific term
no,
amenorrhea should
sorry,
Allah
sorry,
should have
no, but Allah is all knowing. But no, you said that it is talking about that, but you don't have any Quranic scripture to support that, because it doesn't go on to say because of some illness. It just says who have not menstruated. That's all. And if we can infer from the ones who have finished menstruating that we take that to mean older ladies, and then pregnant women are obviously within their fertile time of life, then the only other category of woman is those who are too young to menstruate.
No, they are not women.
No, but Nisa, we
The
just
little girls are not women. In Arabic,
Who said little girls? I said
No.
prepubescent,
The young
not
girl-
menstruated.
brother, what's the word for girls in Arabic? Eh?
Beans.
Bins.
Okay.
Bint, yeah,
So-
bint,
so my next
bint,
question-
yeah, bint.
so my next
yeah.
question
So the
would be-
women is nisa. So when Allah would have talked about the young girl, would have said bint.
And okay, so my other thing would be the maybe 20 or 30 TAQIYYA that Paperboy just quoted.
Yeah.
You just discounted
Because
them with the
you're
wave of
you're
the
going
hand.
against ijma, right? Aren't you supposed to
No,
go
I'm not
with
going against
because
ijma.
Ibn Kathir said all the scholars had
Twen-
agreed.
twen-
And just the other point, you said is it Al-Razi who's appealed
No, Ghazali.
Al-Ghazali.
Yeah.
Now the problem with Al-Ghazali is that he's using his own scientific method to say the sun is bigger than
5 times bigger.
or whatever.
Another place he say
The
100
other
times.
scholars are using the Quran. The Quran is a linguistic miracle where
And
you're supposed to
scientific
take
miracle.
the understanding from the Quran, whereas he was
how?
taking his knowledge from elsewhere.
No,
So
when
he's
the-
looking at
no,
the
no, when the
language.
scholar used the Quran,
Yeah.
scholar gave his reasoning what the Quranic word it meant, yeah, and he backed by hadith either by other reasoning, scientific or historical. He must have given his reasoning. He can't just say, I think that's what
That's
Quran
similar
means.
to what
so
you
in
said
that
about
way,
the condition.
scholar can be wrong.
But that's similar to what you did with the condition because you stated whether
Nisa.
you did it intentionally,
First,
not Nisa,
Nisa.
no, the Amanoria. You said, and that is what Allah meant. But we don't know that
No,
because
no,
he
we
didn't.
know. We
How?
know the condition
When all
amenorrhea.
of those
No,
scholars
are you
disagree with you.
denying this condition exists in
No.
women? Yeah, okay.
I'm saying, okay, so now I'm saying, what are the rules
No, no,
for women
no.
who are 25
No, what-
and have not
what
yet
I'm-
menstruated
what I'm-
because they will
Yeah,
do,
what I'm
like
saying
Victorian women.
is this condition is a fact. This
It is.
condition
It's
exists.
not mentioned in
Now,
the Quran,
since
though.
Allah is our God,
Yes,
if he is God,
yes,
he must have known that condition. Yes.
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 Why would he make a specific verse and not one for people with Tourette's?
So he would have covered that condition in that verse as well.
What?
Those women
Yes.
who have this
As
condition,
well is the
those
key
women who have this
point.
condition,
as well as women
Yeah.
who have not
I'll find that
menstruated
verse, but the
for
problem.
other reasons.
No,
That's
but
what
this,
I
What about
no,
other
but
reasons?
this is what it
What
actually.
are the
This is what it
reasons?
actually applies to because in Islam, when you reach puberty, you are considered an adult. In the time of Bani Qurayza, they spared the boys that didn't have pubic hair. Now it's more logical than what he's saying that there are children that have pubic hair that have
Have
not
not yet
yet
menstruated.
menstruated.
Yeah.
So
So
that
they're
would
women.
actually cause a problem within the Islamic
No, no,
community.
no. Girl puberty is not derived from pubic hair.
So what is it?
Girl puberty is from when period. And girl when she has period, then she become in that sense.
Thank
For the
you.
boy, the pubic hair required, not for the girl. So you're wrong here. The girl's hair has nothing to do with her puberty.
So it's sexism.
So
Say that
it's not sexism.
Yeah. So what if a boy doesn't have pubic hair? So what? That's exactly. No, but remember, the Bani Qurayza, the boys.
Exactly. General condition is with
Yeah,
the
pubic
boy
hair.
have pubic hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but you said if they don't have pubic hair, but that goes against
No,
you.
no, we're talking about boys and girls.
I know.
No, for girls, puberty is derived
so let
from
me
the
find the verse.
period and not pubic hair. So don't confuse
so
the two.
Let me just find that verse now.
But I have to go and masala. I'm getting already quite late. I have to do my
Okay.
brother.
Actually, I have. Just give me 5 minutes and then we'll wrap up because I'll find that verse.
The topic is talking about 65:4 that Quran actually allow you to marry little girls.
Nobody said
Underage.
little. No.
Underage girls.
Females who have not yet menstruated. It's not to marry them, it's to divorce them. 65
Yeah,
is not talking
so you
about
can't
marriage.
divorce them if you're not married.
Exactly. And if they've not yet menstruated, by the time you divorce
So
them,
little girls.
imagine how previous
that's
it
the
was.
Yeah.
point.
So
That's the point, he's making, little girl.
7127.
Quran 7127. No, that we've just come off of that for 1 second. Quran 7 and then what?
127.
Were you guys fact checking?
Okay, so it's Surah Al-Araf.
Yep.
Yep. 7.
Now we're going to see if Abbas is consistent because remember he appealed to the Bible about the timeline.
And then didn't prove
So
it.
there.
I thought we were talking about 65:4 here.
Yeah, I'm saying because it was the story of Moses. Yeah. So it says, and now you look at the Arabic. It says, "Their male children we will slay; only their females will we save alive, and we have here over them irresistible." So this is obviously Pharaoh, the command of
We will kill their sons and keep their women alive.
right.
And
So
in
now
the-
here
not
it
their
uses
daughters.
we are
Their daughters are
subjugators
referenced
over
as
them.
women.
So it
Is
uses
that right?
Nissa. So now in the story of the Bible, we see that all the female children were spared, but then only the male were killed.
Yes.
So unless Abbas is saying that the Pharaoh killed the young boys and the young girls, but
And
then
just not the
somehow
women.
exactly,
But he only says sons, so
and then that would mean that Moses was an adult when he was spared, or an adult male was
He
put into a
wasn't a child,
basket,
yeah.
and somehow the basket didn't sink.
big basket
Exactly.
with buoyancy aids.
So it doesn't say bint here.
Huh?
It didn't
No,
say
exactly.
it didn't say girls here. Bint here.
Exactly.
What does
so
it
you're
say?
saying it's only adult
it says
females.
kill the little boys and keep the women alive.
the
Yeah, what's the Arabic word for women?
Keep the, huh?
What's the Arabic word
Nisa.
for women?
Why are you using the average here?
No, Arabic, not
Oh,
average.
Arabic.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
okay.
Nisa.
Nisa. Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's the
so
same
I'm
Nisa
saying,
that's
because
in
you said it
65
only
forward.
applies to adult women.
So it's clearly saying that kill the little boys. Kill the little boys.
No, spare the little
Spare
boys.
the little
Spare
boys.
the sons.
And
Spare the son,
Kill the sons, spare the females.
spare the females.
and kill and leave the women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
what
you're
about
saying-
the little girls?
So it's not talking about little girls here.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
it's not
you
talking about
just-
little girls.
you
So-
know, they're not
so
being
now-
The
spared.
argument from the silence.
Because the Bible
It's not
story,
when it's out.
as you appeal to about the timeline, and Leah, because remember you brought up the Bible and said,
I made 2 points there.
So we're using the
But the second
biblical-
point was he made 3 foolish statements. in
no,
that.
but when you
Yes.
appeal to the Bible,
And Allah never says
yeah, but
he built the tabernacle.
Yeah,
So-
but-
That's
yeah,
not,
but-
that's not
so-
for
so
this
don't-
no, but you,
don't go
I'm
there.
saying
No,
you
no.
appeal to the
You
Bible
said
story of
the couple of
Moses
days.
about the timeline and a couple of days.
Yes.
So you're happy to go with what the
No,
Bible
no,
said.
but I took your argument on that case
Yeah.
on that. You say this is the argument from the side. I said forget
Yeah,
about
but what I'm saying
I
is-
said forget about the timeline. The other point
Because
is
you were wrong.
Quran,
Yeah,
no,
but what I'm saying,
I'm
you
not
appeal
wrong.
to the Bible
Right.
that the
Girls were spared.
all the girls from a
Children.
young babies onwards, and it was the boys.
What
that,
about talk about the women in
It
the Bible?
just says
yeah,
it was
the
only
young
the
children.
Boys who were
Yeah, the
killed.
boys were spared.
And-
I mean, the boys were killed.
Boys were killed.
And
And
everybody
all the
else-
females from babies onwards. That's why Moses, as a young child,
With the
was
Pharaoh.
put into the basket.
Talking
Yeah,
about with the Pharaoh.
yeah, that's the
So-
biblical narrative.
Biblical
Which-
narrative
And
of
the
Pharaoh
Quran uses
is
the word Nisa
the boys were
to
killed.
reference
Yeah,
all of those
all the young
females.
boys.
Pharaoh's boys were killed.
All the young Israelite boys.
Israelite
That's why
boys.
Yeah,
Moses
that's
was
why Moses
smuggled
was
out
put into
in
the
a
basket
basket.
and put in the river.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In that time, little boys were killed. Yeah. Okay.
So all the
In
young
the
girls were
biblical
also
account-
spared.
In the biblical account, it
What?
says that children, female children, were spared.
So this
Whereas
is
in the
relaying
Quran
what is in the
recitation,
Bible,
it says
that the
Nisa.
boys are
Because-
killed and the
because-
women are spared, which includes the young children.
We will
young
kill
girls.
their sons and keep their women alive. Who's talking about? The
That's
Pharaoh's
include-
talking about, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Pharaoh.
that's including female children.
Nisa whom?
You can check the tafsir if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nisa, you see, has the word Nisa. So,
That's why. Yeah, it's Nisa.
so this is
doesn't
in
say
line with the
female,
Bible
it
biblical
says
account.
Women to reference girls as well.
So it's interchangeable.
The word interchangeable.
All encompassing.
I'm just reading
Because you can
the.
say young women
Exactly.
to girls.
So okay, the Bible narrative is that the Quran. So Quran is agreeing with the Bible narrative. What about if the Quran is saying that they'll kill the little boys, but don't
And
kill
left all
the
the
women,
females.
meaning those women who give the birth to the boys.
No.
Why
Also, the female
why
children were
Quran is
spared.
saying
Shall we see
they
what the
don't
tafsir says?
kill the women?
Shall we see what the tafsir
No,
says?
no. What I'm just
Yes.
saying, the
You-
Quran,
I'm
Quran
saying
say
yes.
that the women,
But
women
before
give,
you appeal to
women
tafsir,
give the
I have
birth,
not read the tafsir.
leave the mothers alone
But shall
and
we
kill
read-
the boys.
shall we see what the
Oh, so-
tafsir says?
No. Secondly,
Where's the consistency?
no.
Where does it Quran allow the killing of the women?
We're not saying
No,
it's
it's
the
the
Pharaoh.
No, he's talking
It's
about
the Pharaoh,
he's
yeah.
talking about
Doesn't
Nisa.
rule
You Arabic speaking.
Yeah,
probably.
I am, yes.
Nisa means women, yeah.
Women, yeah.
So can you
What's the
explain-
how we say girl in the Arabic?
فتاة أو بنات.
Okay.
Okay,
There are-
so
there's
now
a second
can you
Arab
That's
person.
fine.
That's
Wait,
great.
wait, wait,
agreeing
wait,
with
wait.
Bennett.
فتيات أو
wait.
بنات.
Yeah.
This Quran verse, when it speaks of the Pharaoh, he says, kill all the boy children, but leave the Nisa.
You're aware of the
7
story of
127.
Moses, right?
Yeah.
Where the Pharaoh
In the
says,
box.
kill the boys, but leave all the children alive, all the female children.
Can you let me read the Arabic
Yes.
the Arabic
It says Nisa.
verse in the Quran?
But
Yes,
it
this one.
ties in with the biblical story, which speaks of the
It's
girls.
exactly the same
being
as the
From
Bible
here,
story.
This Pharaoh's word we read from here.
This is talking about Pharaoh.
Yes.
He is the
We
one
probably-
warning
Yes.
that he will
Yes.
kill
Because God said
everybody.
it's Allah.
Yeah, we agree.
We
Kill
know
the
it's
boys
Pharaoh.
and don't
Yes.
kill the women.
It's the point of
Now he
Nisa
says don't
is
kill the
used
women
in the biblical
in here.
So
story
It says
basically, they're
Nisa.
saying women. Nisa can also mean female and not only women. That's why he's saying
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Nisa,
Thank you.
Nisa,
Thank you.
So Nisa can
Thank
mean
you.
female.
We have a-
Oh.
It's a female, yeah. But Pharaoh is the one who want to kill
Yes,
everybody.
yes, that's what we're
because
saying.
Pharaoh was actually abusing the Jew
That's why
and
Moses had to
doing
flee.
whatever he wants with them. That's why God sent Moses to take them away from
Yes.
him.
You
yeah.
see?
Yeah, I see.
Confirmation from an Arabic speaker.
So does that mean female here as well?
Yes,
Okay.
female.
So, but we go back to the Quranic verse 65:4. Over
So
there
no,
it says,
it's any female
yeah.
who is not
Yes.
menstruating.
So
now-
those female,
Yes.
okay, let's say for the sake of argument, it
Yeah.
said those female who has not menstruated,
Yeah.
yes, their period given away.
Wait, 3 months.
So in that, I say that is talking about those female, those who are
Have the
disease.
those who have the disease of amenorrhea.
How do you know it's
and
not-
not talking
But
about
Why are you
not talking
excluding?
about the little
Why are
girls.
you excluding them?
No, because in Islam, in Sharia,
God
There's
also
no
knows
minimum
about young
age.
women.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Let
In
me
Sharia, you are not allowed to have a sex with underage girls or those who have not had puberty.
What's the Quran verse
Those-
that supports
Sharia.
that? What's the Quran
No,
verse?
in
that
Sharia.
supports- Sharia comes from the
We
Quran.
are polling.
Sharia comes
We
from
are
the
But
polling.
by the way, I don't agree with the Bible where God commanded Moses to kill.
That's nothing to do with it. This is off
No,
topic.
no, we're not
That's off
who's
topic.
the
We're not
topic?
talking about
Okay,
that.
No, we're talking about the ijma here
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Because
it
Yeah.
wouldn't
We are
be-
appealing to ijma.
Yeah, but we're not
It wouldn't
talking about
be-
that.
About
Quran.
That's your
30
favorite
years.
verse. We're not
Let's
talking
say
about that.
65
Okay,
for
your whole position is
young women.
your whole position here is that
Yes.
65:4 is actually telling you to give divorce to the little girls, those who haven't reached puberty.
Yes.
But
So they're
you're
little.
in the
No.
same way your prophet
The
did,
same as the
married a
scholars.
young person
Who
before
had
they
not yet, she didn't have amenorrhea.
Okay,
My
okay.
prophet,
Hang
my
on.
prophet, he didn't marry a young girl.
How old was Aisha?
Aisha was 18, 19.
She narrated that she was 8 in brackets 9.
who-
She.
I agree with him.
But
I don't
hold
believe
on,
the
hold on,
prophet
hold on.
married.
Are you
The
sure?
generation,
No,
You
no,
know-
no,
are you aware there's
generation,
hadith
generation,
of the companions
but may-
having
Aisha?
sex with
Generation.
I think
prepubescent?
argument is going to go long, but I'm
generation
going
is
to conclude.
185 years after the death of the prophet.
But
And
the Quran is 200 years.
no,
isn't
the
it?
Quran doesn't allow you, doesn't allow
200 years
anyone to
representation
marry.
of the Quran was
The Quran,
Because he says that Aisha saying she was 8 is 185
All right,
years.
brother, I leave
he's saying
it.
Bukhari
Brother, I leave it to you. I'm just going to go by prayer.
But the Quran
Listen,
doesn't come
Paperboy,
from
I'm
Quran.
going. Otherwise, you're going to say you run away. I'm going to make a
Just strong.
conclusion
Okay.
here. Is there's 65.
Yeah.
If you go appeal to ijma,
Yeah.
ijma of the scholars did say that you can't have sex with girls who does not have puberty.
And I would
This is
ask,
in
where
the
is that in the
Sharia.
Quran?
Now,
Let's just start
no,
with the marriage
no,
first.
no. This is in the Sharia. So if we go
Show
by,
us.
if we,
Yeah, but give
no,
us the evidence.
if we go, this is ijma of the scholars.
But-
if I go by your conclusion, the 65
But the
yours,
ijma in
and all
Sharia,
of
no,
there's
no, no,
no
no,
minimum
no,
age.
no, no, no. So that doesn't make sense because if
But there's no minimum age
no,
in
if
Sharia.
you can give divorce to the
There is.
underage
Of
girl,
what?
What is it?
I explain after he
if you
finished.
can give
You cut
divorce,
him off.
if you can give divorce to
Stop cutting him
underage
off, listen
girls,
to him.
that means you can get married with underage girls. But
your prophet
but
did.
ijma says you can't have sex with the girl who does not have puberty.
But Ibn Kathir said all your scholars agree that it means you can.
So this
Let
verse,
him finish.
keeping that in mind, this verse my understanding is right. This verse is talking about the grown-up women who has not had menstruation because of their condition of amenorrhea
So-
and not little girls.
Okay, give me
Minority.
one
You're in the
person.
You want to
who
go,
suffered
go.
that
I'm going to
condition.
bring you the ijma of the scholars.
If you want to go
about
to
the
pray, go to
Sharia,
pray. Let
you
me
can't
talk to
have
him.
sex with a girl who has not had puberty.
I read
I'm going
to
to bring
you
the
about
ijma.
Abbas,
20
Abbas,
scholars.
go and pray. Let
So
me
you are
speak
arguing
in
with
silence.
me.
I
Go
gave
and
you
pray.
I'm going to. I have to do my
I
salah
gave
now.
you about
So my
20
brother is here.
tafsirs.
I will do
it.
Okay.
So,
Bye now.
you see,
Is for people who other Muslim run away.
yeah, so
No, I am replacing him.
so clearly-
he's not running away. He's going to pray.
So clearly we see from Abbas, I gave him about 20 tafsirs. They all said the same thing. Even Ibn Kathir, that they're young, it refers to young prepubescent women. And even in some of your translations of
Yahya confirmed that it
of the look, here's the evidence, and here's like one of the where it talks about the revelation of the verse, and the chapter heading is the boys attaining the age of puberty and the validity of their witness, and then you've got another one, giving young children in marriage is permissible, and that's talking about 65:4.
younger.
So Abbas is trying to go against against Sharia, against all the tafsirs, against ijma, to say that it must, that 65:4 only applies to women who have a disease, that they may be like 50 years old and still have not menstruated. But clearly we see, as you agreed, the word nisa can apply to young children
as
as
in
well.
Moses and the Pharaoh.
So let me explain again, because you're saying the word Nisa apply to young girls,
Yes.
and this is
Female.
not wrong.
It's not wrong, exactly.
It's wrong.
How?
How? Because Nisa
Yes.
is those women
Yeah.
who reach adult age.
Okay, you read Surah
No, you asked
7.
me. You asked
Who have
me.
reached
You asked me.
adulthood but
Can-
not
may I?
menstruated.
May I?
Yes.
May I? Look, let's have a nice dialogue.
Yes.
When you talk, I listen. When I talk, you listen.
And you both listen to me.
When we listen to you.
Thank you.
When we are talking about children, we say banat, banin, fatayat, fityan. That means we are talking about somebody who didn't reach
Yeah.
puberty. He's still young.
So how do you
And
explain-
Quran, Surah An-Nisa is a chapter of women. It's talking about women who reach adulthood and who can marry. Now we talk about the marriage. It's not allowed. It's not. We are not allowed to sleep with the minor because this is abuse and this is pedophilia and this is totally wrong. You understand? And the Prophet, peace upon him, he have 11 wives. He wouldn't sleep with a child.
9 years old.
No, yeah. He wouldn't sleep with 9 or 6 or because she's not prepared or ready even to sleep with somebody. And this is you call rape. As the Prophet wouldn't do that.
Now we went to Surah 7, 1 to 7, yes?
Surah 7, 1 to 7. What
And
does it say?
It says that Pharaoh ordered them
Yes.
to kill all of the boy children
And spare the women.
the Nisa. And in the Bible, hold on. And in the
What-
Bible, wait. In the Bible, the story that the Quran is affirming doesn't say just all the women. It says that the boy children were killed, and all of the like the girls and the women were spared.
So now this is the verse. The chiefs of the Pharaoh people said, O king, wilt thou suffer Moses and his people to make mischief in the land and flout thee that God? He said, we will slay their sons and spare the women.
This is in Tafsir. This is in Quran.
Yeah, this is your Quran.
Regardless what happened between Pharaoh and the people of Israel.
Yeah, but listen to what I'm saying.
The Quran,
it says,
the Quran telling the story about what happened in the previous scripture, and it doesn't. For me, it doesn't make any difference. Because what's the point of it?
yeah, I'm listening.
What's the point?
Point of what?
Like if Pharaoh are killing the children and the girls and leaving the parent or leaving the adult, what's the difference? You know, or if he kills them because he's killing everybody he wants.
Yeah, but that includes.
Pharaoh is the ruler and he's the tyrant ruler who fear no God and he thinks himself a God and he can do whatever he likes.
Yeah, but we're saying this verse is saying.
Why you stuck with this verse?
Because it uses the word
is
Nisa.
used to reference
So
females of all ages.
because when we see the story of Moses in the Bible, for example, we know that all the young boys were killed and every single female, even if she was a baby, was allowed to live. Yes? Now we see the same story in the Quran and it says, Pharaoh says, kill the young boys and spare the females. So when it says uses the word Nisa, it's saying spare all the females even if they are young children. It's not saying kill the young female children, it's saying...
And it doesn't say leave the ones with
leave me
amenorrhea.
out of this subject. Let's talk about something else because...
How about Islam?
I don't...
yeah, go on.
Look, let me get the Quran and get me my paper
and
because I may open the Quran
and also
read
and
it
also I have
way.
two hadiths.
In Arabic.
One from Musnad ibn Abi Shayba, and it says, Waqi narrated to us from Ali ibn Mubarak from blah 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 regarding the man who buys a prepubescent slave girl, even one younger than that. He said there is nothing wrong with touching her before observing istabara. And then the other one says regarding the man who bought a prepubescent slave girl, do not those like her have sexual intercourse, he said, there is nothing wrong with performing the sexual act upon her without observing istabara.
And
Absolute
do you
class, in
and
other
do you
words.
think it's an Islamic tradition to
This is
abuse
your
children?
Islamic hadiths, which are
Well, okay, let me say something, and you can take it in consideration or not.
all narrators and links
hold
in
on.
the chain of
Hello,
transmission are of
hello.
Sahih al-Bukhari.
Okay,
Wow.
Bukhari come 185 years after the Prophet. The Prophet, when he come
Yeah.
and he become a prophet,
Yeah.
the first things to do, he encourage
Yeah.
freeing the slave,
Okay.
and he
Can you show me that
Well, he
in the
didn't free
Quran?
Bilal.
Can you show me that in the Quran?
Before I show you,
Yeah.
My brother, 1 second.
I-
Listen, the Quran in chapter 30, verse 26, clearly says that if this is not a history book, this is not a book
not a
of
history book.
science, but it is not.
Yeah.
God says
Yes.
clearly that if I have to document everything, Surah Luqman, it says that the amount of ink that will be needed or required
Would be
will
too
be
much.
4
So-
times the size
So
of
answer me this.
water.
Answer me this question.
Wait,
Talking
wait,
about-
I
let
get
me
your
finish.
point. I get
Let
your
me
point.
finish. Let me finish.
You're saying
It
it will
says
be too much to write.
this is a book
Yes.
of science.
Okay, science. Okay.
Science,
So
not science.
answer me
But
this
Amanoria
question.
doesn't take
Answer
that
me
much
this
ink.
question.
Science, yes.
In the Quran,
Yes.
it says Muhammad went to the furthest mosque.
Huh?
Muhammad went to the furthest mosque. Yes. Can you tell me what mosque it was?
I don't.
So there wasn't enough
I'm
ink
just
to write the name of the furthest
Whitechapel.
mosque.
Are
But
you saying? Are you saying? You know, Paperboy. I
You
watch.
said it's a history
Wait,
book.
sir. I watch your
Where's the
videos.
history?
Once I heard you say you watch. You have done PhD and doing another PhD.
I never
but
said that.
You did.
I said I had a
You
degree,
most
not
certainly.
PhD.
Okay, but you most certainly don't come across a man of letters. You know why?
Why?
You rely on Sheikh Google and you insult. You
I'm
insult
asking
this
you-
man. Listen, the
Quran.
question is
Exactly.
Yeah, wait.
And the
We're-
hadith.
The Quran clearly says
From Islamic sources.
it's not a book of science.
does?
Science.
Wow.
Science.
So Allah doesn't know
not
about science.
a book of history. And
Well, the
the
sun
way
sets in a muddy pool.
I suggest if you are
enough for that.
interested in reading and not share Google, get this book
Yeah.
called Maurice Bucaille, the French most renowned forensic.
This guy has been debunked with his Egyptology. He's a veterinarian, and he became an expert in
See, you're
Egyptology.
lying. He's
Bucaille, yes.
not a
He was-
veterinarian. You are
Not
sounding
anymore.
like
He's a medic.
He
or
was.
some- what
He
was
was
he?
a forensic scientist.
No, he
Forensic.
wasn't a forensic scientist. He was a veterinarian or some sort of medicine.
When
I'm going to pick up
forensic-
my stuff.
Forensic
No,
scientist.
he gets.
Listen, what will you say? We are on camera now. Listen,
that's-
if
it's-
I prove to you that he was a forensic...
bring the evidence.
No.
Bring the
I will
evidence.
bring his book.
Bring.
His
No,
And
no.
then did you say
The
now?
physical book.
Actually, I can just bring
Okay.
up his.
Google it on Sheikh.
Maurice Bucaille.
I know Morris Bruce.
Michelle,
Yes.
read it.
All right.
What led
Use
him
big
to
instead of
Islam? Maurice Bucaille,
Oh, he's a
what
Muslim.
led him to Islam?
He was a friend of the Arabs, and then he became an Egyptologist.
Listen, you put your
Let's-
own spin.
no.
He went to study after discovering.
Allow me.
Okay, now here it says French medical doctor. So how does
You said he's
But
a
you said
veterinarian.
veteran or something like
Forensic
that?
science.
But how,
No.
you said he's a
You said
forensic
he's a
scientist.
He
Or
was,
so- what was he?
a forensic scientist.
So you lied, TAQIYYA.
No, listen.
If he-
No, I want you
does-
to... Listen, Paperboy...
Does that say forensic
Paperboy,
scientist?
Listen, I can't read because I need the
Oh,
help
I
of my
can.
glasses.
It
Look.
says
No,
French
I don't
medical
put it-
everything
doctor.
it says.
What, they're the
Look,
only people who like.
you can see
There you go.
French.
French
You can
medical
see.
doctor.
So now it says he's a French medical doctor, but he's appealing to a French medical doctor to be an Egyptologist and an expert.
Paperboy, Google is
Google. I thought you said no shoot, shake,
No,
Google.
because-
Now you're telling me to Google.
You know, you are a bloody hypocrite.
That's what you said.
I suggest if you are
enough for that.
interested in reading and not share Google, listen, I want you to Google.
You said you were gonna
Is
produce the book.
Maurice Bucaille a forensic doctor. Google it.
Now it says Maurice Bucaille was a French medical doctor and author. He was appointed family physician to King Faisal of Saudi Arabia.
You said
he's a forensic scientist. You said he's a forensic
You got it
scientist.
wrong. Medicine is veterinarian.
Yeah, I did say medicine
Yeah.
Will you
afterwards.
say sorry?
I did
He's
say
not a
medicine
forensic
after.
scientist.
Will you say sorry? Will you
No,
say sorry?
no,
no.
You say
No.
hypocrite.
No.
Hypocrite.
Hypocrisy.
No. Hypocrite is you. You said he's a forensic scientist.
And now you want an apology for a
I want an
different-
apology.
No, I am right, therefore I will not apologize.
You're right.
TAQIYYA,
not a
you
forensic
see,
scientist.
the double standards. The double standards of the Dawah team.
I will bring his book.
Bring his book
When?
and we'll debunk his book.
Huh?
Okay.
Bring his book next week.
You going to debunk?
Yes. Because he's a medical scientist.
So you said he was very
Not forensic.
You
Not
are
a
now
forensic.
saying-
You
are now
lied
saying-
and said he was a
No,
forensic
I don't
scientist.
Lie. I don't lie.
He's not a forensic
You were
scientist.
mistaken then.
Islam says not to lie
Unless you're the best
No.
of deceivers.
if it goes against you.
No.
Madam, I saw your last
Islam
video.
says-
That's
you
lovely.
said
Is this like him saying something he didn't say? That your PhDs, he's going to tell me what I said.
You said the first miracle of Jesus
Was
in
the wine.
The
Yes.
wine.
Yes.
What was the verse?
The Quran says.
No, not the Quran, in the Bible. Yep.
You said.
Yeah.
You said.
Yes.
You said the Quran says he spoke from
The cradle. Yes.
And you said that is wrong
Yes, I did.
according to the Bible.
Yes.
But you pundits, I'm asking you this
Pundit?
question. Well, you sound like. You sound
You
like.
sound like
Tell
someone I've
me.
never spoken to.
Under the-
who seems
no,
to think
no.
that a
So
forensic
next
doctor.
week,
Under-
bring your book,
No, let's
and we
not
will go
digress.
through the book and his claims,
You
and we'll
said-
see
can
how
you
reliable
Hang on, so you
Maurice
just told me
Bucaille
that.
was.
Hold on, can
Why
I
don't
speak?
we go
You've
there
just
where
told me that
there's
I
light?
said something that's correct.
Okay, we'll go there in a
The
second.
Bible says
I'm
the
going.
first
I
miracle
am
was the
to
wine.
ask you the question.
Okay.
So we'll
Under
we'll
the
just
Mosaic
conclude
law-
anyway.
We're just going to do a wrap up.
Under the Mosaic
So-
law.
I would like to get involved. Yeah.
Under the Mosaic law.
So clearly, just to wrap this up, we started with talking to Abbas, and I gave him almost 20 scholars, tafsirs, which said that 65:4 relates to young women, young minors, and then we see even Ibn Kathir said all the scholars agree, which this means it's ijma, which somehow all the Islamic community for hundreds of years have been wrong, and it took Abbas to figure it out that this verse relates to women that have a disease, that they can be X amount of years and not have had their period. But clearly when we even went to the other verse where it relates the story of Moses, and it says spare the young women, it's obviously clearly talking about young children as well. That's why even when we initially approached Yahya, he agreed, but then because he doesn't like the interpretation of the verse, he's now going against it. But when we highlighted that story, he quickly scarpered. So
I'd like to say that anyone can do some research on amenorrhea, because Abbas stated on camera that that's what Allah means, and even if, which I wholeheartedly disagree with that assessment, even if Allah is referring to women who for some medically documented reason have not menstruated, why is Allah therefore discounting women who could be 18 and have just not yet menstruated, as in Victorian England when the average age of menstruation was between 18 and 21? That, if I was Muslim, would be a far greater argument than to just discount the fact that Nisa can mean female, as according to Surah
and clearly
7127.
Abbas seems to forget the scenarios where a woman may
20
be
scholars happen to say
exactly,
something
and
else.
clearly it's like you have women that, because I even read the hadith, and there's many hadiths which say the companions married some of their children at a very young age, and I think Ali also married his wife at a very young age, and I also read the hadith where you can have sex with a prepubescent slave girl.
Yeah.
This is all in Islamic literature.
So it's
But-
not therefore against Sharia.
Exactly, in Sharia there is no minimum age. So clearly we see that their conscience goes against them, against what the Quran actually says. So
So come to Jesus.
That's it.
You know it makes sense.